Hello and welcome back to Roll the Bones. My name is Rob and I'm joined as ever by my valiant and stalwart friends Mike, Matt and Dom, and I will ask them the question we always ask. What happened previously on Knights of the Apocalypse? Omen War.
There was an ooze dragon.
Ooh.
It was a enlarged ooze method, but ooze dragon is a great idea that I will throw at you in a few levels.
Yeah, nice. Well done, Mike.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you. You heard it here first. I reckon in the 25-30 mark, ooze dragon.
What do you reckon the breath weapon for an ooze dragon is? More ooze?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's just firing out parts of itself.
That's a future session. What happened last session?
Yeah, it's indeed. We killed it to death with lots of fighting.
Yeah, splat.
I mean, we actually did. I don't think we did too bad. I don't think anybody took massive damage. But we did all right against it. It was pretty gnarly, and we found out. We didn't really find out, sort of surmised. Pop sort of figured out that it was something to do with the spell rain leaking down here and causing some form of mephit to mutate, essentially, and be enlarged and all grossified. And yeah, something that we should avoid. We definitely learned something about the spell rain.
Yes.
So, that's a positive. And then we left, continued on our journey.
And as it was on the way, we went to the marked location of some loot, potential cache, on the way. And when we got to that point, we found outside a couple of dead Dominion, we think, but one of them, who was feigning an injury, who warned us of the terrors inside the cave.
He was a sneaky bitch.
I mean, we let him leave, and he wasn't injured at all. He was absolutely fine.
And you say warned. He said there were boars.
Yeah, he did say there were boars. He didn't really warn us.
Which was a little bit of an understatement.
Yes, on many accounts.
He was all smug, we were letting him go, and then we reminded him that he was on his own in the wilds and was probably going to die anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
We went ahead. Hopefully that won't come back to bite us in the arse later, letting him go. It's clearly an enemy. And went into the cave.
We did, and we found a weird red velvet bag, which we lusted after and discussed several ways of potentially getting there, either jumping or climbing, and then Pop just cast spider climb on Fleece. Spider cloned over there and grabbed it, noticing that had he jumped, there was a good chance that it may have collapsed beneath his girth.
Yeah, narrow escape there, I think, actually.
And the red velvet bag, of course, turned out to be a red velvet bag of holding.
Filled with lovely loot from whoever owned it before, which was nice. So we got our grubby mitts on all of that, which was lovely. So loot plus bag of holding, super. Ergeist's new saddlebag, which he wears so well. And then continued into the cave, where we encountered pigs.
Pigs.
A large boar to begin with.
A big pig.
A large dire boar, correct.
Pop, how did you distract this?
Yeah, how did that go?
Well, what we decided to do was do what any sane person would do and send in a smaller, sexier pig to distract it.
Yes.
I mean, it worked, sort of.
As any reasonable person would do.
In a Disney cartoon. Acme, sorry, it was an Acme situation. It did work, though, yeah, you're absolutely right, it did work. It distracted it, we rushed it, we
flattened it.
spilled its guts. And then we realised that
That was
our
the
victory was
small
short-lived because that was Baby Pig. Mummy Daddy Pigs were both angry. There was the big... I can't remember what the big razor...
It was Blood Tusk, the
one.
fiendish Diabor.
Huge.
Are you suggesting, Matthew, that Blood Tusk was the mummy pig?
Yeah, that's
I
what
reckon so, yeah. I think
okay.
so. Why? Did you assume that because Blood Tusk was
No,
big and
I
gnarly,
didn't.
that Blood Tusk was a male? You
No, I
absolute
didn't assume anything
misogyny,
about
just-
the sex of either of the...
Well,
any three of
I
the
think
pigs.
if you watch the footage back, you'll see that Fleece was in fact to the rear of the pig and can tell you it was a female.
Why? What was he doing to the rear of that pig?
He wasn't doing anything particular.
He got
it's in
inspired
his
by the sex
nature.
of
It's in his
picklage.
nature to check. He has farmed in his life.
Oh, interesting lore drop there.
But we did kill that. It took some damn killing though, and it it was 2 points off killing Fleece at one point.
It tried
Very
to
close.
gore.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah,
Well, it did. It gored the hell out of him, but it got a critical on the second hit with a multiplier and 3 times its freaking damage.
And it rolled badly.
It
very
rolled badly, and I think it was very lucky on his part because, yeah, were he not raging, he would have been absolutely done for. But we did finish it off after some recovery, and then Pop encountered his own situation that he dealt with pretty much solo.
Yeah, he found a werebore was approaching them from their own rear.
Yep. Not just any werebore though, as Pop rolled a 20 on his Arcana check, which gave him a total of 25. So it was the equivalent of the 11th Doctor's "Tell me the whole plan." You worked everything out instantly. Seeing the marks, you know that this was not just any werebore, but part of the clan known as the Moon Swine.
And they'd done something to the circle to make it a full moon constantly or something like that, or like whenever it's at its peak of awareness.
Yeah,
Where
it would
was it?
adjust how they could change. That's correct.
And we found that the moon swine, specifically this one at least, Mudglut, had actually sent out all of these flyers as some sort of like bad marketing scheme. basically.
Advertisements.
Yeah, so it's, come find this loot cache, and I'm going to tusk you and gore you.
Either eat you or recruit you, I imagine, is sort of recruitment drive, trying to get us to turn into werebores. But
Yes.
didn't work, because Pop is a bad motherfucker.
Yes, and he used the spell Whelm to overwhelm the poor werepig's mind and knock him unconscious.
That's right.
Whereupon we discovered that he wasn't originally acting alone, and that the red velvet bag had a matching set of red velvet cloak or something. I can't remember exactly why clothing
cloak.
it was, but it was suggested that's where it came from. And it had seemed to be a scheme of this sort of merchant, I guess, to get people to come here so the pigs could kill them and he could steal their shit, basically, was what we inferred, wasn't it?
Not a bad plan. Just didn't count on us.
Well, it also didn't count on the fact that the boars got bored of him and gored him to death. We assume gored, not rotted.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
can't fight its nature. It's the story of the frog and the scorpion, isn't it? Which, look it up, not saying it now.
And with that, we were left with a tricky decision. The creature Mudglut, you rightly say, knocked unconscious, not slain. And we return to the wallow of Blood Tusk.
And here we go.
And the Day is reaching late afternoon, though still difficult to tell with the darkening clouds that roil above you, as they often do in the rush front. You know that you have about an hour before the creature awakes from the state that you knocked him into, Pop. Just to also reiterate, you also have an alchemy bag filled with potions that we're yet to determine what's inside.
Yes,
we need you to plan what your next move is and what your plans are for Mudglut. What do you do?
Pop has made his position very clear that the wereboar should not be left to survive to infect others with his light.
And yes, Galeric has suggested that he would give the creature cause to come to, either to try to reason with him or at least to not dispatch him in cold blood.
And this leaves Fleece very firmly in the middle, which is a situation he is not particularly comfortable with. However, he will ask you one question. Pop, you said infect others. So are you telling me that, in your opinion, this is a disease, like an infection that will spread and take down more people?
Well, usually with the... I know this about lycanthropy, don't I?
You got like a natural...
Knowing
you got 25 on your check, so yeah, you know.
Yeah. Usually with the curse of such beings, their one desire beyond merely killing is to spread their unfortunate condition further.
In that case, I will take it upon myself for it is part of my mission to eliminate disease, although this is perhaps this is not necessarily what I envisioned when I made the vow that I made before I left my home. But this axe, Blovar, it means blood vow, and its vow was taken to eliminate disease. Perhaps this is something I will tell you about in the future. But my decision has been made. If this is a disease, then it must be stopped. Fleece will go over and firmly bury his axe in the unconscious guy's head.
Yeah, no roll is required. It's an automatic critical strike. And there is just a dull thud that can be heard. And yeah, the wereboar is slain.
Pop will avert his eyes as this happens.
As soon as he's done it, you will hear him uttering in a sort of strange form of giant. He will be uttering a prayer. And then he will avoid making eye contact with Galeric for a while.
Sounds as if Fleece Pop will stand at your knee. Though the exact wording of your vow is unknown to me, I can only imagine this wasn't, as you say, wasn't what you imagined, but I believe you may have kept within the spirit of it, if not the exact phrasing. And then sort of shuffle off.
In the spirit, yes. I think that is probably the correct way to put it. You do seem to be quite knowledgeable in this area. Perhaps it is a thing that in the future, when we are not pressed and in this situation, we can discuss. I may have questions for you.
I love questions, please. Believe me, I'd love to answer anything you've got to ask.
But for now, I think we should gather whatever we are gathering and then get out of this place.
Not
It
a great
is,
place to rest.
Giving me an ill feeling.
Yes. Well, let us just check in this satchel, see what we have in here.
Yes, excellent. So you peer inside. There appear to be 6 vials inside. Let us determine what those 6 vials are. So that's 2 D100 rolls each. We'll go around and then repeat again. Galaric, as you are closest, you can go first.
Bush, 82.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow, you find a potion of lesser restoration.
Yes.
Ah, sweet.
Those are always so
Two.
useful.
Super handy.
Always a treat.
Cool.
Okay, and then Fleece.
Surely. 24.
That is a potion of Magic Fang.
Potion of Magic Fang. Okay.
Give it to the horse.
Yeah. I mean, actually, that
Magic hoof.
is genuinely quite a good idea, to be fair. The horse is...
Drink it, guys.
I mean, yeah,
He's always
stomach
attacking,
is
isn't he?
strong. So.
I think I will. I'll hand that to Galaric, so this may do your horse. It's the only animal we've got, so might as well. May do your horse a service. Or may do you a service through your horse.
Magic Fang, just basic Magic Fang.
I would suggest maybe...
It just says Magic Fang, so I assume that's the lowest form, yep.
use it as some sort of dressing for the meat you give to.
I shall marinate some
Marinate some meat.
some of the meat for our guys.
Jerky
He
of
hits
Magic
me
Fang.
again.
And Pop, D100.
43.
43 is an enlarge person potion.
Oh, perfect. That'll be one of yours then.
May I suggest Fleece?
I think that may come in handy in the future. I will graciously accept.
Very
I will
good.
save it for the right moment.
Galaric, your next roll, please.
76.
You find an Eagle Splendor potion, which I believe will be useful to you.
Yes.
Great roll.
Marvelous.
Fleece.
Yes, boss. 97. Thank you very much.
Ooh,
You find a Shield of Faith potion +3.
Oh, that just adds to your armor class, doesn't it?
it's very lovely.
I will have a good that.
Yeah, cool. And finally, Pop.
7.
Cure Light Wounds potion.
Oh, lovely. Always useful.
Never say
Often
no.
Sniffed at.
So, after you've rummaged through the belongings of this, quite well-equipped, magically individual, you are confident that nothing else remains to be examined within this place, but you can now discuss your next move.
Well, if there is nothing else to be examined here, I think perhaps we will... It may be best to move ourselves away from this location.
Yes, if
And then
everybody's
set up
got
camp
a
in the
point
wilds.
of the direction of this cave, it's probably not a good idea.
Yes.
So where were we heading? We're heading to South Point.
Correct.
Uthrael.
Yes, correct.
Uthrael.
The
Okay.
elvish
And
name,
that's...
Uthrael.
Do we think that's about 2.5 days, 3 days travel?
About a day from where you are. So I know we're used to our usual distances, but remember this is much more zoomed in. So yeah, you're confident that you could reach South Point in a day. And it is late afternoon now.
It is, so it would be tomorrow afternoon that we arrived, so we will need to set up camp and have a camp about halfway. We'll need to find some sort of shelter in case it bloody spell rains during the night.
Oh,
Yes.
Because I can see on his evil little face that he's planning on that crap happening
He's already tried to catch us
while
once.
we're sleeping. Yeah. Well, let's just set off on our journey and find a decent place to camp. When
A
nightfall
journey
arrives.
you do, and as you journey, you can make me a survival check to spot a nice place to camp. A secure place to camp.
Oh dear. 12.
12.
We're looking at the same place.
I mean,
Look over. Oh, you've already seen it.
Oh, so have you.
No, wait.
There's
This
a
is
slightly better.
marginally better, slightly to the left, slightly further under that cliff overhang. But it's not too far under because it's only a 14. Slightly further under.
Okay. I assume as you are out in the wilds, and the wilds it is, you come across this gully that you believe will protect your encampment from the rain, and you won't be out like on flat ground. Although that's a gully is probably not a good place to go if you're scared of rain. Somewhere where you can protect yourself against the wind, that will say. And if you're scared about the rain, absolutely, you could have looked for somewhere with cover. You're not stupid, and you know that there is that threat out there, so that's fine. What's the order of watch for the evening?
Personally, I need a full night's sleep. I'm happy to take first watch or last watch, but I will not abide middle watch. I can't do it. I won't do it. I just won't.
I will not split my sleep.
I just won't do it.
I refuse. I'm sorry. I refuse.
Fleece is very happy taking the middle watch. He is more than used to sleeping in the wilds. He's been doing it for a long time.
Well, that works for me then. I shall. I'll take the first. No, I'll take the last watch then. It gives me time with Ergeist in the morning to
Feed him more meat.
feed him more meat. And may I say, because of all the meat, if he goes to the bathroom here with us lying around, good God, you'll know. So it gives me
you
time
will
to
take him far from the camp. If he is going to do that, you take him all the way over there.
All right, that's what I shall do in the morning. Don't worry.
Guys, you hold it in.
Grim.
I hope you bring big, heavy poo bags for your horse.
Reinforced.
Oh yes.
Pop, you are up. You sleep. You will take first watch.
That sounds very good. Very amenable to me.
If you need us, scream.
Oh, I intend to.
So, order of the watch is Pop, Fleece, Galaric. Can you roll a D3, please, one of you? So Pop is 1, Fleece is 2, Galaric is 3.
Do.
Fleece, your choice. Please make either a listen or a spot check, please.
I believe that Fleece will. He will make a listen check. Where he is.
Very good.
Not particularly good at spot. Very good at listen. 16.
16. What are you doing on your watch, Fleece? Like, how do you while away the hours, whilst of course remaining alert? What are you up to?
It's possible. I imagine in his belongings, he has. It's just so big, and he's got quite a big sort of satchel on his back that he hides under his cloak because he's quite big. It's hard to see, but he's got a few books, mid-sized sort of books in there. So he will probably sit and read, which looks unusual because his hands are so big around the book. It's like reading a little pamphlet. And it was not really expected because he's just like it doesn't fit in with the way he looks. But he enjoys reading, so he's just going to sit and quietly read a book with fantastic tales of adventures of
Fantastic,
wonderful
yes.
characters.
Adventures of lore and heroism, very good. Mazes and monsters.
Is that what the book series is called, of Mazes and Monsters?
Mazes and
Do you know what?
Monsters, starring Tom Hanks. Yeah.
It's a fantasy romance where there's a
Definitely.
woman who is pursued by two men. One who you think is good at the start, but turns out to be bad and one who does bad at the start, but turns out good.
It's the old bait and switch. I love that. And as you muse and feel the joy of the story sort of washing over you, taking you from this grim battlefield to an older time, you hear the unmistakable beat of wings. Very large wings. You were successful in your listen check. You look up and you can't help but notice a large category winged creature passes over your camp. It is some hundreds of feet in the air. You can't tell how far exactly, but a great shadow moves across the night sky. And as soon as you sort of look up and see it, it's gone, you know.
Okay. He will, in the silence, he will concentrate on that for a little while to just ensure that it's not circling or anything. If it's just something passing them, we're all good. He's ready with an outstretched leg to just kick Galaric in his metal head.
Oh, I'm not wearing my armor right now, so he'd just be kicking me in the head.
Kick his helmet into his head.
Oh, yeah.
You wait for a while, but the sound of wings and the great shape that moved across the sky does not return. For what comfort that gives you.
Okay. Well, I will wait until it is time for Galaric to take over on his watch, and I will inform him of what I saw. Very big, flappy.
Yeah. I'm guessing you would wake up Galaric. Because he's his...
Yeah. No, I'd wake him up for his watch, but I wouldn't wake you up before it was time, as if it didn't seem like there was an imminent threat. But he will obviously inform you of what he saw, so that you know what to keep an ear out for. But it was some time ago now, so whatever it was something traveling the lands, and in this land, I imagine there are many monsters.
Did you see which way it was flying?
That's a very good question, actually. I saw it cross the sky, so I guess I have an idea of which direction it was going.
Yeah, you would, and it wouldn't be a difficult check. You can either give me an intelligence check or a survival check.
Well, intelligence is slightly higher than survival, so best chance possible. 19.
From your position, southeast. Your direction, where you're going. That's exactly.
We are going. Yes. Marvelous, wonderful. It was going where we were going, so perhaps we see it tomorrow.
Okay. We shall see.
I'm going to sleep now. I'm tired.
And rest you do, and the rolls have taken place. Nothing else happens. Thankfully, you're not rained on in the night. You awake refreshed. You recover your level in health, of course, with all of your spells and powers intact, and you can continue. And
I finally get my wisdom back.
Yes, the wisdom damage abates as well. Fantastic. Well remembered. It is then that not long into your morning's march, you're getting used to this sort of like grim orange sun in the early morning, refracted and warped by the magic in the sky. This just grim, hellish light that beams down. But it almost looks serenely beautiful as you crest a hill and see for the first time South Point. And as we've discussed previously, South Point is the name that human settlers gave this place later than the original structures of ruins that belong to Elvenkind were there, and those ruins have been built upon and used as foundations for an entirely new settlement, as is the way with so many places in the world. As you look across this vast open plain on the way towards this city, you see that there is a great divide in where there is like the main ruins of the elven settlement, and then the great cliffs that fall away into the raging Rashoka, the great bay from which this battle has been battling around for many years. And even here you can see great breakers, great waves crashing against both rock and constructed foundations of buildings. The flooded city of Uthriel. You see that it is open territory towards the city. What do you do?
Well, I probably won't be sending a postcard home from here.
And how do we find our Delver?
How indeed. But perhaps by delving, but...
I think that perhaps we need to find someone, anyone, to ask where we are headed.
It does look somewhat inhabited, even though it's in ruins, or is it completely abandoned?
So that's a great part. I mean, like, you're looking at like quite a sizable settlement from a distance, but fires blaze all over it, crackling magic. You see that parts of it are still collapsing. Water is still raging against the southern coast of it. It does look to be constantly moving and be alive with activity, and you know for a fact that this city has been contested by the Reclamation and the Dominion for many years. To use a comparison, again, it's like the Asgiliath setting. It's like where two armies meet, but there's a city in the way. You see many broken bridges, strategically destroyed in some cases to prevent crossings, others just destroyed by the ruinous nature of this place. But you know that there will be many dangers within. An incredibly hostile environment lies before you. But you have been told that friends will be here too, allies of the Reclamation. It just depends on how you approach the city and what you do once you're there.
Do we know that the Reclamation is currently sort of in command of the city or not? Is it a proper battlefield currently, or is one side sort of, holding it?
Captain Woolwort would have given you perhaps a bit of a brief, because we said after the battle, for narrative's sake, you then set off straight away. But I imagine Captain Woolwort would have passed on some information to you that it isn't held per se, but it is still contested in sort of like a guerrilla war, where scouting forces of both Reclamation and Dominion strike. You also know from the maps that you have kept encountering that the Dominion were withdrawing to South Point to then mobilise in a different direction, so you know that they were withdrawing in this direction too. So you are likely to encounter both forces here.
Then if we approach, we don't know which side we are going to run into.
Well, you're confident that you're approaching from the Reclamation side of South Point, so perhaps that offers you some comfort.
Yes. Well, in that case, we should just approach. I think because we are not sneaky, it will make us look more suspicious if we try to sneak and are spotted. So perhaps we approach in a brazen manner.
Or we can be very sneaky. Or very unsneaky, depending on what you prefer. I can make us look extravagant and glorious on our entry to the city. Be a small force, if you like. Just a suggestion.
I would side with Fleece in this one. I think we should just approach as intended for now.
Perhaps a grand illusion of elephants.
I'm not entirely sure. I feel like because everyone is at war and starving, and it might be rubbing salt in the wound a little bit if we approach like, we are rich. Maybe let's not. I believe we have been sent here, so it is possible that our mission is known to these people.
You are, and I mentioned it for a reason, it is effectively open, wide pasture, open, wide fields on the last run up to this place. So you would need to... Yeah, if you wanted to approach in secret, you would need to do so with effort.
We would need to be completely invisible.
Yeah, I'm not. All right, there would be places to hide, but it would be an effort to approach the city without being spotted or seen.
I don't think that it is necessary.
We
are on the
can
side
be
of
invisible
Reclamation.
for up to 6 minutes at a time.
It's a bit of a jog.
Let
us approach.
I mean, I can do it a few
Let us
times.
approach the city, make ourselves known. Who sent us? Why we are here? Let's do this properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you approach the city, and it is not long before you are standing before the ruined walls. And you can give me a spot check or a survival again.
Spot for...
Let them look.
6. I forgot to add the 1.
22.
12.
Really good.
Hold on.
Pop, you're the only one to pick this up. You note that there is a you know that there are a number of tracks, medium humanoid tracks would have been moving into the city about a day and a half ago with the 22. It looks like
Friends, we are not the only ones to enter the city this week. Sorry, carry on, Rob.
uniformed spacing suggests a march.
Perhaps a small force preempts us.
We're not informed of any more Reclamation forces heading in this direction. We were told that we were special. I feel less special now. But it is possible that other forces were sent in this direction before. We're not told of a party going ahead of us, but they could have been coming from a different location, I suppose.
Well, we should be careful, I think.
Okay, so with that, you begin moving your way into the city, and it's as you say, we should be careful. Pop, you look up and you just see like parts of a battlement come crumbling away, and it collapses in the near horizon. A big cloud of dust rising high before being swept by the sea breeze. You can't ignore the fact that there's like the continual crashing of waves. The sea beyond is a particularly violent one, a very dangerous coastline indeed. Birds, carrion and gull like circle overhead as you make your way through the city. Do you make any checks or of any kind as you begin moving through this urban area, this ruined urban area?
I think it would be prudent to keep an eye to the floor and the surrounding areas for any sort of traps. Thinking you walk through a battlefield, even if it's dormant, there may be some form of landmine. Probably not a landmine, no.
Probably not.
But yeah, Pop will check their route as they make it, if possible. Possible.
Yeah, you can give me a check to an argument of what check you'd use to how you would pick your route through the city. Then,
I don't know. Search feels a bit too much, doesn't it? You search an area, don't you? You don't really search as you're going along. I would guess spot if anything, but
give us a spot check then.
Yeah. Because my survival's shit. 23.
Okay, wonderful. So, Pop, you realise that there is a fork in the road without it being fully evident to anyone else. You note that there is a number of different city streets that are entirely impassable. Massive piles of debris just wreck the area. So you find yourself, without possibly even meaning to, entering a maze of sprawling streets, and you see that one route will lead you towards one of the remaining bridges of South Point, which will take you closer to the centre of the city. There is another route that leads to a tower that stands solitarily in the distance. It meets your gaze because it appears to be entirely surrounded by a flooded portion of the city, where the sea has encroached further than anywhere else in this point. So you have the two routes. You have a route that goes more central into the city, or you have the route that takes you towards a dead end, effectively, but a dead end with a big tower.
An interesting.
Well, from what I know of stories, the big MacGuffin is usually in the tower.
You can give me... Well, no, you've already given me a spot check. When I say tower, please don't... I know I'm showing you the image of these great sweeping towers in front of us right now. What this tower that I'm talking about is more akin to these watchtowers here. In fact, this one would be perfect, because that's sort of like on an island, isn't it? That one there. So if you imagine that sort of size... And it appears to be ruined a little bit. There's scaffold on one side of it, and the curtain wall that joins it has fallen away completely into the water. So it's sort of like an island, reachable by a small bridge made of debris.
What do you think?
It could give, because we are travelling quite blindly at the moment, could give a good eye of the land.
Could do, or the whole thing could collapse into the sea.
That is also a possibility. I hope this is
It
not
is intriguing, though. Why is it by itself?
I don't know. I am feeling quite drawn to that direction.
It's just an interesting thing, isn't it? Why would there be a little tower out there if it didn't either have some good view of the area, which is useful to us, or contain something interesting?
I mean, does it... A tower out on a thing kind of makes me think that it would be defendable, right? in some way.
Is it a lighthouse?
It could be a way to pull back and pull back and pull back, and then eventually you end up out there where there's just one bridge, and their numbers count for nothing on a bridge. So it kind of feels like the last port of call if you were under attack. So it could be a good place to put certain important things. But otherwise, it is pretty, and I'm feeling drawn in that direction. That is how I feel.
Yeah,
But Pop, you are the intelligent, the highly intelligent member of the party.
I don't know about that. You flatter me, Storm. What do you think, Gallery?
I think it will give us an opportunity to cast our eyes further. At the moment, we don't know where we're going. We're just travelling in. So anything that could give us an advantage or an idea as to where we need to hone into might be useful. And height in a tower, always a good thing.
Does it look difficult to get to?
It's
Hard or impossible?
so it doesn't look difficult to get to in the terms of moving towards it. The bridge that stretches out is really, it's only about 20 feet long, and like I say, it's sort of a big ruined stone slab of a bridge that has been patched together. So it wouldn't appear to be difficult to get to unless someone wanted to make it difficult for you to get to, if that makes sense. Then it would be very difficult to get to. Fleece has made a very accurate observation that this would be a very easy place to defend if you had the numbers, sure.
Just once again we go in.
Okay.
White flag.
As you go in, I would like you each to make a spot check as I prepare to move us to a different map.
Hey!
Okay.
Old forest that time.
Was that
Nice, 22.
Okay. So you've chosen to go to the tower. Let me bring that up. Here we are.
Finally, my height.
And speaking of height, you absolutely, you look at this tower and, it looks like a fractured part of the wall almost. A simple watchtower stands there on an island of its own, surrounded by the crashing of the sea. And it was a difficult spot check, but Fleece, you succeed. As you approach, you see what could only be described as a head of fuzzy white wispy hair appear over the battlements and then go and then scoot back down. Who goes there? A voice calls from the tower.
An old man.
Who goes
on the battlements. There, look.
You make your way into this place, and there is a great statue that looms over the big flooded area, and beyond there is a tower, and now visible you see that there are 3 figures stood atop it. The one that you spotted, Fleece, appears to be a dwarf, who should actually be about there. There we go. You imagine he's standing on a box.
Very nice.
And he, realising that you've spotted him, will yell, "Who goes there?"
We have been sent by.
Keep it vague. Keep it vague.
I was just going to say the name of the place. What was the name of the fort? The
The Rush Fort?
The Rush Fort. We have been sent by the Rush Fort. We bring news of the Rush Fort, and we mean no harm.
Anyone could know the Rush Fort. Any military map would show that. The dwarf shouts over the wall. If you were sent by the Reclamation, then who is the commanding officer there?
Woolwort? Is that right? Captain Woolwort. Captain, it is the Captain Woolwort.
A voice comes from behind and says, Tundro, you don't think it's they? And Tundro, the dwarf, looks over his shoulder and says, Quiet!
Commanding Officer Captain Woolwort has he has given the okay to our journey. However, he did not seem particularly keen for us to come. He thought it was very dangerous.
Calm, Tundro. The voice comes again, and a human male soldier-looking type comes to stand next to him and says, how many companies do you believe would be made up of a gnome, a knight, and you'll forgive me, a giant of some ilk?
I will take it. It is fine.
The Dominion are tricksy. Call. They may have attempted to ensorcel us. I am a wizard of great renown and power. Perhaps they seek to trick me.
Do you know of the sage? Did he have another sage? Oh God!
No one asked the sage's name.
We didn't.
Is a very
Did not
important
ask
point.
the sage's name.
The great
You would think he would have just introduced himself. I think he was rude.
Another voice comes from over the walls and says, guys, do you mind? I'm trying to concentrate here.
Oh my God!
Guys.
Is there?
You hear like a strumming of a musical instrument or something.
Oh no!
And then Cole turns and says, if I have to tell you one more time, Harpfire, you'll be out of here in an instant. If you draw attention to our position again, relax, I'm just tuning it, alright?
What the hell is he? Oh, it's amazing.
Cole says, you'll forgive our suspicion, but you have named the captain of the Rush Fort, and the three of you do match the description that we have been asked to look out for.
We would very much like to get clear of this bridge if you are not wanting to draw attention to your position. We are aware that
draws attention like a shouted conversation.
I suppose they speak true, says Tundra, and he says, but any fast movements and I'll place my hands upon you and incinerate you.
I believe you.
Come and bring the horse over. The beast must not be left to wander across that side of the bridge, or it become lost in the streets.
Very good.
You are beckoned, and as you can see, because you're in the inside of a tower and the curtain wall, there are two very narrow but open stairways that lead up to the main platformed area of this tower. you find that there is a small encampment. You can see that this was formerly a military position, but the three figures that stand there now don't appear to be of a military disposition. Like I say, there's an armoured individual, there's a dwarven wizard, and there is this figure that was called Harpfire as well, who has rather bedraggled flyaway golden hair, and a very, very fetching hat.
That is a fetching hat.
Yeah, it's about one of the few things of my prized possessions that I've managed to keep hold of in this hellscape.
Oh man, that's upsetting because the voice you've given him is like the voice you do of me when you're making the piss out of me.
Well,
guys.
oh, guys.
What the fuck, guys?
Oh no! Well, I hadn't realised that until you've now uttered that, but there we are.
No, I love it.
He will say, "Pleased to meet you. I'm Brett Harpfire at your service." Brett Harpfire.
God.
And if you didn't catch it, my name is just Cole. I a fighter. And this is Tundro. The dwarven wizard gives a an incline of the head before putting his suspicious narrowed eyes back over the battlements to continue his watch.
It is very nice to make your acquaintance.
We were bidden to hold this position and keep an eye out for any matching or description approaching the city. It is well that you approach this way and did not conceal your movements.
I believe
We could have done, you know. If anybody had listened to me, you wouldn't have seen us coming. We'd been here before you even knew it.
There is no judgment here, for you were not sent here to be part of military action. You are you're not the rank and file, and neither are we. In fact, we are solely here to wait and to report word to you.
Who is your commander? Who has requested that you wait here for us?
Why, Captain Woolwart.
I see.
Not content with the orders that you had received that sent you here, he thought it would be a good idea that others would be made aware of your approach, to look for you, so you weren't wandering blindly into this hell. And he just gestures to the collapsing city around you.
How long have you been here? A day and a half, perhaps? Maybe two?
We arrived only yesterday evening.
See the footprints I saw, Fleece. Galeric, you remember I told you, didn't I? I said somebody was preempting us, and this is exactly what is happening.
But the footprints that you saw were rank and file. They were
Yes, you speak of the scout division that has operated here. They move into the city to make a new attempt at the remaining Dominion forces here, and some other force that appears to be uniting with them. A force of monstrous allies. Orcs make up their number, and gnolls too.
What is
gnolls? What is a gnoll? I have no idea what a gnoll is.
Very rare being, that must be.
This is very
strange. No idea.
Love the callback. Great. there is.
They're like the silence in Doctor Who.
Yeah, they are the silence. He will say that I have heard much of the Dominion's tactics, but to unite with such wild, savage creatures is, I would say, it's beyond comprehension. But this war has raged so long, it seems that little is left to surprise.
I believe that they will unite themselves with whoever gives them the advantage. They are not in any way fussy. We recently fought a battalion who had bugbears on their side.
Indeed,
Yes.
there may not be a strict alliance. There may be an alliance of convenience. You see, we've discovered that the Dominion seem to be retreating from the area to leave behind for the forces of the Father of Slaughter, Arithmo. Well, yes, he's not the Father of Slaughter, though he's
Yes.
the stepson of Slaughter. And they intend to leave this place for the dread forces of, as Galeric says, Maxim, the Marauder.
That is a name that we have heard much of, and we have learned a small measure of this Maxim, but what we do know of him is unsettling, to say the least. What news you have brought to us of the Dominion withdrawing now answers many riddles that we have been asking each other over these past days. For the fighting has grown silent, at least temporarily, and we thought it to be a deep breath before the plunge.
It does not seem to be. It does not seem to make any sense. It is very strange. Cannot put together why they would be withdrawing and retreating, but at the same time attacking the rush front in such a savage manner. Why they would see the need to do this? Their actions are confusing and a mystery to all but themselves at the moment. But there is some deeper plan.
Do you remember what, and one of you definitely posited this, so I don't mind us bringing our attention back to it, but when you were in I think you discovered this when you were in the Sanctum, you had learned that a number of sacrifices had been ordered to seal the deal between the Dominion and the Call of Arithmal. One of you literally said this in a session the other day, so I'm just going to bring us back to it. The God of Slaughter demanded such, and it was shown that those sacrifices were in fact the forces of the Dominion that were sent into.
So we crashed
into certain defeat, effectively.
Right. Yeah.
And then to finish the job, and to obviously destroy the bridge as well. There was that final crescendo of that battle.
But, I mean, it is a strange thing to be. The Dominion, they are an attacking force. They have fought well. They fight with tactics. They are savage and they are brutal and they are, in our opinion, on the wrong side of things. But they are not mindless. They are not fanatical, maybe a little. But to align themselves with followers of Arithmal and try to bring forth some foul, evil god, it does not seem to quite fit.
We have noted that many Dominion forces have now been surrendered to this barbaric, marauding host. At first we thought it was a random attack, but it seems that the Dominion have been willingly surrendering ground to then fall back further.
It is a lot of faith to put into something, is all. If they know they are sacrificing some of their own people, they are hurting themselves in the hope and the faith that they will bring forth some evil. But maybe it will not happen. Maybe the gods will not answer them. It is a lot of faith. It just seems strange to me.
Cole will look to the three of you and say, as I was saying, we have heard something of this Maxim. We know he holds a fortification in the very center of the cove of the Rush Locker. This fortification overlooks the ruins of Uthriel, the main portion of the ancient city that was flooded long ago. You can see from here, and he points that in the distance that there is a much... I know you said the MacGuffin's always in the tower. In this case, there is a much larger tower that looms precariously balanced upon the
fantasy staple,
the remaining coastline. Yeah, that is where this chapter general, this marauder risen to chapter general, has been stationed. And if the rumors are true, he wields great power and commands immense power, and has dominion over orcs, gnolls, trolls, and other magical creatures.
Dominion, I just got that. I just understood. I do not think...
yeah. That's my bad. Yeah.
I do not think that we are... I think it is beyond us to attempt to reach this tower and attack and save the day and be all... he has command of the seas with the Vanquisher. Do not think that we would be able to reach...
Do these guys know about the Vanquisher as a thing? Perhaps we should share with them our knowledge of that dread ship.
Well, they know about... Well, I suppose that I sort of assumed that they did because they know about the whole certain defeat thing. So they knew that the Rush Locker had been... Rush Fort, sorry, had been attacked and all of that had happened.
Absolutely, yeah. It seems that they've made aware of that from their report, yeah.
Yeah, so the nature of that attack would have been told to them. So they probably have an idea of the ship, even if they don't know what it's called. But the point is that we wouldn't be able to get there. He's got control of the seas. I wouldn't want to try and get over to that fort yet, anyway, or find a way to get there at least. But we were sent here to find Delver.
We were, yeah.
Cole's eyes sort of like drop, and he says, a good friend. I miss him.
Oh, shit.
Where is he?
He is an operative of some ancient order, but he has, and we have worked for Delver. These agents of the Court of Whispers have a habit of finding ne'er-dwells and adventurers and recruiting them into their schemes.
I ring the bell.
Well, we were recruited by Delver for such a purpose, to help with the war of intelligence, to ensure that the forces of the Reclamation had good reconnaissance. We had quite a strong working relationship, but as I understand it, the last that Delver was seen was in battle against Maxim, this marauder.
And the assumption is he perished, or was captured, or unknown.
I know not. My assumption is he was destroyed, for, as I say, Maxim commands immense powers and immense creatures. He points to the top of the tower and says his fortification is guarded not only by orcs and gnolls and trolls. Maxim has a dragon.
A dragon.
Oh, no.
A big one, or
Big enough, and he points to like a particular ruin in the distance, and you see that like a massive fortification that still is like broken and dust still rising from it. Only the other day I saw the beast take it out with just a swipe of its claws.
This could have been the creature I saw flying in this direction last night.
I'm assuming you did share that with me.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, as I said, we absolutely would have told you in the same way I told Galaric.
Yeah. I thought so,
We're awake.
just in case you wanted to keep it a secret.
No.
Do you know what sort of
We don't
dragon?
have any secrets,
There are
friend.
many different styles and races. As many races as there are humanoids, probably. Probably not as many, but
That's a good question. Would he know what kind of dragon it is? Well, he would know what colour it was, I'm sure. He would say it had a sickly hue.
What colour was the dragon, please?
A sickly
It had a
green?
sickly hue. It was green to behold. And its corrosive breath was what brought down many of the structures that surround the fortification that Maxim has taken.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my friends, in that case, I have only one question. What is our next move? What we were sent here for is no longer viable.
Well, it's not that it's not viable, it's just that our objective is forked slightly, I suppose. Either,
well, if Delver's gone, we should just go home.
look, there is a chance that Delver could still be alive. For one, that would mean it is our duty to try and find him. Two, if that is not feasible, there is still a chance that perhaps it is known where he would reside. Maybe his abode, his headquarters, wherever he was, he may have left some information there for us. Or maybe coded, like with a cipher or something. I don't know. Either way, there's still options.
Or, and hear me out, we go back to the castle we came from, we say we tried our best, and take the remainder of our pay and go home.
Pop, my friend.
Yes.
I feel that you have some strength in your heart that even you are not fully aware.
Not in my arms.
No. This is not... I have seen what you can do. I have seen you fight the creature, the swine creature. I've seen you fight, and I've seen you completely eradicate this thing single-handedly. You are a powerful being, and I think that you are doubting yourself, but you are stronger of heart than you think.
And besides, Pop, if we need to get in there and we need to find him, you are the only one who can do it for us.
Indeed. Perhaps we will get immediately killed if you are not with
For
us.
you?
We need you.
I'm not doing it for you, Galeric. I'll do it with you, maybe. I'm not doing it for you.
Well, if you want to do it with
I'm not
us.
mad.
All right.
we
Well,
have-
I mean, if you wish to try and find Delver or to find out whether he is in fact still alive or confirm his
I
demise,
suppose we could find out what happened.
I am with you, but how do we go about this? Where is our next port of call? Point my axe in the direction of a skull.
Well, either a last known
Start with
location.
this one, please. Start with this one.
No, no, my friend.
Good. Don't want to die.
What are our thoughts?
Tundro, where was Delver's last known location before you
Final
lost contact?
stand.
Tundro will look, and he has sort of like a faraway look in his eyes, and he will say, I was not so fond of Delver as my accomplices here, but even I have to credit him with his skill and his bravery. He was last seen facing off against Chapter General Maxim, not far from the gates of the battlement, the fortification that he holds.
And not to be rude, but I don't think we know what he looks like. What does he look like? What is he? Is he a dwarf? Name like Delver?
I know not what he looks like. I only know what his armor looks like. And it gleams gold and has a almost draconic shaped helm. Like a visage of a dragon is shaped through it.
Wow, Delver is dressed to the nines. Impressive.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant... We're talking about Maxim here. You said describe Maxim, right?
Oh, I thought you
No,
were
I
just
said Delver.
Oh, sorry. Well, he describes Maxim as wearing this sort of golden armor with like a draconic helm. That's fine. You've seen him, so he can tell you.
Yeah.
Delver is, well, I'm afraid Tundro's prejudices are getting in the way of his description.
Oh, I see.
Delver is a drow.
Oh, I didn't quite see. I didn't make that connection. That makes sense.
And the drow and the dwarves have had many disagreements in their long lifetimes and in the legends of their kingdoms meeting in history. But he has a shock of white hair, dark grey-blue skin, blazing red eyes. He is of middle age, if you could tell with the drow, given that they age so slowly. But he has many years behind him, and I hope many years ahead, but I think that you're optimistic in your assessment of him being alive. What do you search for him for?
An item called the Horizon Lens. Apparently Delver knew of it. We were to speak with him about it.
Give me a sense motive check.
I do have it. But...
What is it? It's
Wisdom.
Oh, 14.
You done untrained.
That's the same roll twice.
Also a 14. We got exactly the
15.
same.
Oh.
Ooh, you intuitive.
It's annoying.
You don't really get anything from any of them, really. Though Pop, you see that there is a flicker of recognition on Tundro's face when Galaric says the horizon lens. Like he sort of nods as if to know roughly what that might be. It is a shame that Delver was so good at keeping secrets, for had he imparted any of that knowledge, then perhaps you would be saved the trouble of seeing if he still lives.
If only we knew a necromancer who could speak with the dead.
As I understand
Not
it, there has to be some part of the creature remaining to speak with them, and that dragon doesn't seem to leave much in terms of leftovers.
Let us not flirt with the idea of those who commune with the dead. It is a foul. I've had experience, I think, with these sorts. Awful people. At least I think it was a necromancer. You never know. Could have been a wizard, could have been a cleric.
We can ensure that we get you to the fort that Maxim holds, says Cole. But we will have no part in advancing further.
You can get us to this fort. How?
How?
We
Oh,
have-
man! How?
We have fought in the ruins of South Point for a long, long time. And in that time, we have learned secret ways to move quickly and effectively through the city. It is well that you found us first. Had you approached across the bridge and into the city proper, you would have found yourselves in a warren of endless ruined streets filled with dangers. With our help, we can get you straight to the heart of the fortification.
Then maybe that is where we need to go. If we
Then-
cannot find Delver, then we will find his enemy.
Then you will be within the range of the dragon's sight, for they see far. And as much as I have respect for the Reclamation and their mission, as much as I have a deep respect for Delver, our time serving is coming to an end. We are like you. We are not soldiers, but soldiers of fortune. And nothing will compel me to approach upon a dragon-guarded castle.
Does seem folly.
Huh.
And the castle is where Delver was last seen.
Yes.
I didn't realize that when I agreed to.
It's okay, Pop.
But
The face-
unfortunately, we do operate under the rule of no takey backsies. So,
Yes.
unfortunately, tough.
We are where we are.
How about a song, guys?
I don't really
Ding dong,
think
ding dong, ding dong, ding.
I think a song would be.
What are we doing? No, what we are doing.
What are we doing here?
I don't know what we are doing. Came for Delver, we can't find Delver. Nobody seems to know what the horizon lens is.
Oh no, they know what the horizon lens is, please. Don't you?
And they know what it is.
Yes,
All right, I missed this.
they had a little nod as we mentioned it.
Tundro says, well, I know what the horizon lens is.
That is
Well,
what
of course you do. You're a learned individual, aren't you, Tundro?
And I know it as a
can see from here.
powerful scrying device that can be used to observe great distances without seemingly any cost. You already know this, but it was session 1 where it was described to you, so you can be forgiven.
Yes.
All right, but it is more about where we can get our hands on it.
Nah. And that is what secret is that the Delver has that you wish to know, is that right?
Mm-hmm. He was to help us get our hands on it.
Like I say, he kept his secrets too close. Foolish drow.
I wouldn't know. I have never met a drow.
I don't think I have either. Could be wrong.
Tundro says, they're all spider worshipping. Enough, Tundro! It's that kind of thinking that has got the Reclamation and the Dominion locked in a battle for years. Not every drow worships spiders. And then Tundro says, but lots of them. I will gladly take you to the gates of the fortification, says Cole. But
If
no
you think
further.
this is the right place for us to go, to find this lens, or find the means to find the lens, then do what you will. I am ready.
I'll go to Pop. Don't worry, I've got your back the whole way. We can do this together.
Don't want you behind me, Galric. I want you in front of me.
It's a figure of speech. I've got your back.
I need to be clear that you understand it's a figure of speech, not to be taken literally. You will be standing in front with Fleece, taking
My shield
hits.
is your shield.
And my body is your shield.
Now we're talking.
Well, says Cole, if there's any preparations that you would require to make, now is the time.
Pop will cast Mage Armor.
Galeric will feed Airgeis some meat.
Do we believe that we are going into some hefty battle with a dragon right now?
No, just anything. I don't want to be hit by anything.
Just because I have got... But I only have like one potion. That is very good.
I intend to avoid the dragon combusts.
I will wait. I have my potions ready if I wish to have them. Transport.
Yes, as much as I would like to bring the enemy to me, I agree with Pop. I don't think a dragon is necessarily the smartest course of action.
Cole says, you can rest assured I will not be marching you to the jaws of the dragon.
That is much appreciated.
You will have plenty of time to see it coming. Not that it'll make any difference, says Tundro in a begrudging voice.
I mean... Point me in the direction of some of the orcs you spoke of first. Let us thin their numbers.
They litter the grounds around the battlefield. You will not be left wanting. So after a short break, Cole will ask as well, Galeric, if you intend to ride there.
Well, that depends. If you think we will be easier on foot, then I will keep Airgeis here.
But Airgeis is a good battle advantage for you, is he not?
He is. But
I think we need every advantage.
He's not very subtle.
That's yes. Cole,
But
what would
I,
you say?
I am not subtle either. Look at me. I am as tall as the horse.
I won't cast aspersions. You seem to be well seated when I saw you approach. I can tell from your stance that you are a fair rider, Sir Knight. The streets are filled with debris, but a warhorse such as this monster could be of significant advantage to you.
Fair enough then. See ya, guys. He called you a monster. That's all the meat you've been having. Oh, he's a good boy.
You meaty
I'm
horse.
sure it's not good for him. Pop mutters to anyone who will listen.
And as Col and Tundro and Brett Harpfire prepare to take you to this fortification, that I think is a good idea for us to have a very quick break before we continue to the next part of the session. If you liked the video so far, give it a like. If you'd like to see more like it, give us a subscribe, and we'll be back after these short messages. We have returned, and Fleece, Galaric, and Pop, you are led by Cole, Tundro, and Brett Harpfire through the ashen wastes of South Point. Cole leads you through paths that are covered with debris, almost like a tunnel system winding from broken house to smashed fortification to ruined gardens. You move through this ruined city, and Cole was absolutely right to say to you, had you not gone to the tower first, you would have found yourself having to navigate this yourself. And there are a number of dangers that await you in this city. But thanks to speaking to them, you are going on a direct path to the very heart of the city, and to the, well, I say the heart, the very south point of South Point. And as you approach the fortification, the tower that Maxim has fortified, it looms large over you all. And there does appear to be like an eerie green mist that kind of drifts from the place. And that eerie green mist is mirrored by great pits of bubbling, roiling, corrosive acid that appear to dot the landscape. You watch as a ruined building that looks like a former public archive is slowly sinking into acid that is pulled at its corner, and it's just eating constantly away at this building. Tundro, the Dwarven Wizard, will look to you, Pop, and he will say, I find that you and I appear to be displaying similarities when it comes to thinking with a clear head.
When it comes to thinking full stop, I suspect.
I have my own selfish reasons to being drawn to this city, my dear gnome. It is said that there is a great power that still blossoms within the heart of the elven ruins, long flooded.
Power? What, where does the power emit from?
He points, and as you like pass by like an open part of the city, he points, and you see like great towers rising out of the sea. You see the ruins of the elven city, and he says, within the very heart there. And in fact, if you look at the map, I'll just bring it up really quickly. The map of the area. If we bring up the Rushfront map there, just to sort of like hammer home, you see like that it is like a network of ruins and rocks and buildings rising out of the water for a good distance. Like it's sort of like, dare I say it, an aquatic playground of terrors awaits, where there are ruined buildings and arches and all sorts looming off into the distance. And he says, there at the very heart, you see, and he points. There is a spire, a central spire at the very southern point of those ruins, and it is said that there was a doorway that had such power that it united the elves and the Azamar in an alliance over its keeping.
Fascinating. And what was the nature of the power? Do you know if it was a door? Was it transporting elsewhere to another dimension, perhaps?
A doorway leads from one place to the other, Master Gnome. Where that is, I am not to say. I have power, but nothing in comparison to such as the stories say.
Well, if it was strong enough to merge the divided Azamar and elves, must have been very powerful indeed.
A story, a legend of the Second Era.
Of course, of course.
And whereas you have your sort of splutter, Tundro's laugh is more of like a hiss, like a wind through grass. And Cole will look over from the front of the party and says, "Shh! We are here." He points, and we'll go back to the south point artwork there. And he will say, "This is as far as we will take you. To move any further would bring us into the range of that dragon's gaze, I'm sure of it. Beyond that, there is a single bridge, a bridge that will lead you to that fortification."
Very well.
Well, thank you for bringing us this far.
There is nothing to it. It was our assignment to do so, and it is done. We have helped you to the capacity of our ability. War we will risk. The evil that resides within there is not something that we can risk. Make a pretty good song, though, says Brett. Can you do a spot check?
Yes.
Nine.
Ooh, 16.
14.
You all notice nothing.
Oh.
Shit.
Hey guys, look. Nothing.
Cole will say, if there is anything that you would ask, brave companions, the time is now.
I think the time for words may be over.
I agree.
I do not think there is anything more for us to ask.
Cole will turn as if to go, and he will sort of look down to his feet, and he says, there was a time where I would feel shame for leaving you here. And perhaps you are new to this war, but I hope it does not teach you the lesson it has taught me, that one must look to themselves before others. Good luck. I fear you will be in sore need of it. Tundra will give you a nod and will give you a knowing look, Pop, as he moves around, and then Brett walks past and goes, "Bang!" See you later, guys. If you win, I'm definitely going to write a song about you.
I look forward to hearing it.
I hope
kind
that
of,
I am
sure.
going to be able to hear it.
Well,
They were a very interesting group, weren't they?
Cole will point you to the bridge, and the bridge is effectively what you need to head to, and then once you cross the bridge, you will be entering the area. So, Cole's asked you, but now I, as the DM, ask you: is there any preparation that you make as you make your way towards the bridge?
would we like to be invisible?
As much as I'd like to make myself known, I think perhaps going this far into the gaze of a dragon, being unseen may be the stronger move.
Yes, I think it is possibly a good idea to not be.
A thought, Pop.
Yes.
Would you like to ride with me on guys?
Would I like to ride on you on her guys?
With
I could sit on your helmet and yes, up until the point where the riding gets difficult, I suppose I
of course.
might
I'm
speed
just
things up.
to make sure that Ergeist doesn't pop his head out of your magic, shall we say. Keep him best in the
Yes.
centre. A floating horse's head would startle most people. I'll help Pop up onto the back of Ergeist.
Very good.
My worry is that I think I'm aware that some dragons can see through invisibility. But it's only older dragons, I think. I'm not totally... I can't remember exactly, and I probably shouldn't remember exactly.
No, that's absolutely fine. Well, you have been told, Pop, that a dragon is before you, so perhaps you'd like to do a knowledge arcana check to determine what you might know of such things.
I can do a little knowledge, can't I?
I have returned.
21.
21 knowledge arcana. That is a great roll. And so great that I do actually want to specifically check. The problem is, Pop, you know that absolutely a dragon of a certain age will have more than enough means to be able to spy through your invisibility. dragons are gifted with a magical sight. It is said that from legend that dragons were born out of the stuff that created magic in the beginning times, the Dawn era. You don't know how old the dragon is that you will be evading. Or you know that the dragon has been described as huge. That means that he may be an adult, he may be a mature adult, he may be old, he may be very old. Which is a wide margin, to say the least, when it comes to dragons.
Yes.
Very wide.
Do I know exactly what age they discover their
2032 is when they... No, yeah, I don't know. You don't know exactly, but you do know that a dragon's magical development really blossoms when they become a mature adult.
Well, one thing to bear in mind, chaps, lads, is depending on the age of this dragon. If it's young, we're fine. My abilities will be more than enough to remove us from its vision.
Oh dear.
However, the older it becomes, the less effective that will be. We are rolling the dice a little. My assumption is that the older the dragon, the less likely it is to be farting around here. My thinking is, and it is an assumption and a little bit of a gamble, which, you know, everyone loves a little tipple, is that it will not be that old if it's here.
You are thinking that if it is being commanded by someone else, then it is probably not an all-powerful being itself.
Exactly. The older the dragon, the more arrogant it is, the less likely it is to take command.
I mean, I do not know much of dragons, but this seems like wise thinking on your part. I suggest that you cast whatever spells you wish to cast and we make our attempt, but we are ready, nonetheless, to fight if we need to.
That is exactly what I want to hear.
Yes.
And
Before you commit to what you were about to perhaps do, Pop, can you make a... You can give me a spot check or a survival check. I know I'm leaning on those heavily this session, but I'm afraid it is pertinent.
Just Pop?
Oh, sorry.
that is a natural one.
Not just Pop, sorry. I should say, as Pop was about to do... Because he was about to cast, so I didn't want to interrupt but before he...
12.
Okay.
13.
It's a devastatingly low.
You know enough to know that the bridge and the journey to where you're about to go it won't take you moments. You're not going to cross over a short bridge and then be there immediately. You are still on the approach. So if you're casting or making preparations of maneuvers that will last round by round, for example, all I'm saying is this might not necessarily be the place to do so. But what was the 13? Fleece, you actually are alarmed by something else. I'm going to move us onto a map.
Oh no.
We are on the devastated streets of South Point here. And you see that there's this bridge that reaches out before you, and there's that peculiar green mist appears to sort of waft over it, sort of obscuring the view of where you're going into. But Fleece, you are alarmed to see with that spot check a creature emerges. Atop a ruined pillar that rises out of this this water, this body of water that the bridge is crossing.
Oh, shit.
You see a large figure just sweep out of the water with a fluid maneuver and lands upon that pillar. It gives a gargling. As it does, it is bidding a command to its forces. For Maxim does not leave the entrance to his fortification unguarded. Roll initiative.
I thought they were taking us a secret way. They have just taken us to the front door.
Yeah.
Assholes.
He said they
Those three were full of
he
shit.
said they'd get you to the front. That's what they did.
Oh, no. I've once again not rolled very well for initiative.
Can I take those rolls, please?
11.
17 for Pop.
8. Please. Excuse me. 8.
Oh, God. 8, did you say?
Yes.
Pop got 17. Galeric, you got 11.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poo.
Indeed.
And then... Yeesh.
Yeesh.
The terrible figure that's risen up onto that pillar appears to be lizard-like at first glance. It has a long barbed fin that goes from the top of its crown all the way down its back, all the way down its tail. It has webbed fingers, and the most alarming thing is it stands there on 2 feet, but it has 4 arms. 2 of those arms hold a large trident-like spear, like a mesh of different pointed blades on the end of one haft. And it gives a bellowing cry. You can give me a nature check, all of you, please, if you have it, or just a straight intelligence, but it'll be harder.
Just a straight intelligence.
I've never seen
Straight
it.
intelligence.
9.
It makes perfect sense. He knows nothing.
Pop, you've heard of lizard folk. You think that these might be like these, but you don't think that this is quite it, but they might be similar to lizard folk. Regardless, you don't have much time for further thought. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Pop, can you give me a reflex saving throw, please?
A reflex. Can. Uh, 11.
Oh dear. This great thing holds that weapon on high, and there is a sudden surge of water that leaps up in a pillar behind it, and there is a bolt of lightning that gets cast from on high and then is deflected from the water and is channeled towards you, Pop, as you fail your reflex saving throw. You take 26 points of lightning damage as a lightning bolt hurtles towards you and slams into your chest, Pop.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
It's unlike anything you've ever felt, and as this bolt slams you, Pop, you see these terrible figures that this creature is commanding rising out of the water, advancing with vicious looking weapons. It is now your turn, Pop.
Ouch. So as a move action, I will have to take Cure Moderate Wounds for fear of dying. Which is 2d8 plus 10.
Ah, grim.
That's okay. That's,
To be a friggin' 1.
that at least means I can potentially take another hit like that. And then I will. What? Sorry, I'm not thinking.
That's okay.
I will cast Hypnotic Pattern. Do I want to do that, or is that gonna... Shit. I think they'll get a bonus to that. Stuff. Potentially not. Yeah, I'll cast Hypnotic Pattern, which is a will save on 2d4 plus level. So that goes 2, 4 plus 6 on 13 HD of these little critters here.
Okay.
I'll just try and
Okay, so out of that then you are going to affect 3 of them if they fail their saves then, yes?
yes, it also has to be in a 10-foot radius spread, so that does make sense within the confines of the spell. Anyway,
Great. So you can pick the 2 above or the 2 below. Which one did you go for?
I'll pick the 2 below because I think.
Sorry, 3 below. It affects 3 of them.
Yes.
So they've got to make will saves then. What is the DC?
The DC it is an illusion, and they are flat-footed, so it will be 20.
I'm afraid to say that as a success from 2 of them, 1 of them fails.
Shit. This is going very poorly.
Yeah, they rolled very high to be fair, but yeah, sadly.
And that's...
yeah, you see the one here is got by the hypnotic pattern, so he is just entranced by it, correct, until struck. Is that right?
yeah, or until I drop it. But
or
yeah.
until you drop it,
They're
sure.
fascinated by it.
So this creature is sort of stood like waist deep in the water, just staring with wide-eyed wonder at the hypnotic pattern that you cast, Pop, but sadly the others are unaffected. And we now move to their turns, at least some of their turns. This one is going to rush out. So 5, 10, 15 to climb that. Yeah, he's just going to climb on top of that. There. And with a javelin in his hand with a vicious barb on it, he is going to hurl it at your flat-footed armor class, Fleece.
Why have I not written my flat-footed armor class?
I don't know, but it is your...
It's just minus dex, right?
Yeah, so
16.
minus your dex. 16. That
Do you
is
have uncanny dodge? I don't know if that comes into it.
Oh, yeah, I do have uncanny dodge. Of course I do. So when caught flat-footed, I keep my dexterity. So, yes, you're right. It is the same.
So
it is
what
17.
is 17? I'm
It's
afraid
just my normal armor.
that is still a hit as the javelin soars from on high and slams into you, dealing 7 points of piercing damage.
Ouch. Thanks for remembering that, Mike.
Yeah, well done.
For what it was worth.
1, 2, 3.
I don't make a lot of difference,
4,
but it
5.
it is a thing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, can get you. This one closes on you too, Elise.
Lovely.
Oh, what is it like as you parry his attempt as he rushes forward and he tries to impale you with a spear?
I mean, he's got the axe ready, so I think he rushes forward and tries to spear at me, and I just smack him with the haft, and in a sort of cross spear move, just back him up a few inches, ready for a retort.
This one goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And is going to throw a javelin at you, Galaric, flat-footed armor class.
22.
That is a miss, and as the javelin is... Well, you tell us how you not only defend yourself, but also what you do with your turn, as it is now you.
Excellent. Galaric, as he gets ready, sees the spear, this javelin coming towards him. He just knocks it up and over with his shield as he gets ready. And as he does so, he bellows to all of them present, "Do none of you have the courage to face me?" As I issue a test of metal to all of them, including the big guy.
Including the big guy, goodness.
He's in range.
Yep, so what have they got to do?
They all have to make a will save DC of 15, or they will only attack me.
Okay. We'll do the little guys first, and then we'll do the big guy at the end. Okay, so that is... Okay. So the first 3 all fail.
Yes.
Dreadful rolls. The other one, I guess, isn't affected because he's enthralled. So I doubt would be infected by your crawl. So it's just another 2 rolls for the others. They roll both very well, both higher than 15 on the die, so they succeed. So it's just those 3, and is it the big guy?
Yes.
That is also a success. So 3 of them nearest you, fortunately, at least, are going to go for you, but the others have their minds set on other business. Anything else, Galaric?
Well, that's a swift action.
Yeah.
And then he's in range. I will take a 5-foot step there. And that was a swift, that was free. I would have had my lance out, so I use a move action to swap to my glaive, and then I shall attack. I trust Fleece has got that one, so I'll go for this one.
Yeah, he's in range, of course. Yeah, you swing.
17. Oh.
17 is a hit. You slam your glaive into it. Which one's that one? That's number 4.
For 11 damage.
It gives a spluttering hiss as you slash into it, and it backs away. Well, not physically, but yeah, recoils at your strike.
Nice. That's it.
Very good. Okay. I'm afraid now it's these guys.
I mean, they could still go for me if they want.
They can, yeah, and they probably will, to be fair, because you are the closest. So, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, yeah, can 25, 30, so can get there. So this one is just going to go for your normal armor class, please, Galaric.
22.
You are able to defend yourself as this creature just lashes out at you. And then this one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, can also... And again, just lunges at you, and guys will say is able to, like, rear up or something, so it misses.
Nice.
This one is fascinated. Fleece.
Lovely. I shall go for the one directly in front of me that has just attacked me. It's a little shit. But I'm going to try for a trip attempt first. So my first attack here will be on his touch armor class.
Yeah, you swing for his touch armor class.
That is a 1. That is possibly a fumble.
Possibly a fumble. Let's see.
It's a 21, so it's not a fumble, it's a miss.
Just a miss.
I miss completely. That is my turn.
That is unfortunate. With a swing and a miss, Fleece is done. We are back to the top of the round, and this terrible mutant creature goes and raises its spear up with 2 of its 4 arms and does the Tusken Raider thing of raising the staff up and down before, alarmingly, he throws himself into the water and vanishes into the murky depths.
Oh dear. That is not good.
And will continue his movement. Okay, so that's his turn. Pop.
That changes slightly what I'm going to do because I can't see him anymore. But Pop will take a 5-foot step back and use a blinding color surge on this one.
Okay, so that was rushing straight down the middle of the bridge, and you raise your power to meet him. What's happening?
Yes.
What have I got to do?
So that is going to be a will save, and I immediately forgot. So
That's okay.
it's illusion.
Mm-hmm.
So the DC is 19.
19. Well, I can tell you that is an immediate fail on his part as he's rushing towards you. Bam! There's a blinding light. What happens?
So all of the color drains from Pop Glistergleam as he vanishes from sight and becomes divisible. And then all the color that was making up Pop's form blasts out straight into the creature's eyes, and he's blind for a round.
And with a shriek, it's clawing at his eyes, unable to believe its misfortune.
And now I'm invisible.
And yeah, you vanish into invisibility. Great work. And I guess that's the end of your turn, Pop?
It is indeed.
We move to this one, who had leapt on here, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 is going to move to flank you, Fleece. So we'll get a plus...
Didn't he fail and need to go for me?
He did. You're absolutely right. Thank you for reminding me. So instead, from here, 5, 10, 15, 20... We'll still go here. And he is going to violently slash at you whilst you sit there in your saddle. Armor class?
No.
22.
That is possibly a fumble.
Oh.
That is a fumble. Can you do me a big one and roll me a D100, please, Mike?
31.
31. Okay, I definitely have the table nearby. Here it is, 31. That is a DC 20 dexterity check or fall prone, which is not ideal. Let's see. Okay. So, can you roll a d20 and add +3 to it for me, please, Galaric? He needs to make a DC 20 check.
He meets it, but doesn't
Does
succeed.
not succeed. So he, sadly for him, whiffs it. He falls, and falls prone and is... Wait, that was 31, wasn't it? Ah, no. So can you also roll me a d4, please?
4.
He is stunned for 4 rounds.
Oh, lovely.
Oh.
What is it? What causes him to fall and get stunned for 4 rounds as he goes for you, Galaric?
I like to think that as he's running towards me, maybe there's a part of him that just slips, as it was a fumble. Maybe he slips and there's like wet floor, and he slams and slides into the shield, and then just dong, and then just sort of falls back.
Great, yeah. So he's stunned for 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. Great. This one also failed, but is also blind, so is going to just try and stumble forward. Does him being attacked stop him from being drawn to you, Galaric? He is blind, but
question.
he can still move. So would he be still drawn in the direction he was going, or would he?
If anyone other than you attacks the target, the effect of the test of metal ends. So actually, that one that was fighting Fleece won't need to go. No, will, because he wasn't hit.
Yeah.
But this one no longer feels the urge.
He no longer feels the urge, but he's also blind. So I think he will just. It probably makes sense for him to push on regardless, because he knew that his allies were ahead rather than behind. So he will just take a free 5-foot step. He's going to roll a mischance, just swing wildly at you, Galaric. And we'll roll it publicly. If you wouldn't mind rolling me a D4 or whatever, low is a miss, high is a hit. Or potential hit.
3.
Okay, he swings at your armor class.
And is that me or guys?
Good question. He'd probably be going for guys, I'm afraid, but he has got a significant penalty because he's blind, so...
Yeah, so Guys' armor class is 14.
It doesn't matter, he rolled terribly anyway, so he swings wildly, and Guys, the practice war horse, isn't there to be struck by him. Great. Oh, it's a terrible round for them now. So, he's... Okay. Oh, God. Have I missed one?
The one in front of Fleece.
The one in front of
Yeah,
Fleece
the one
is
that
yet
was going
to...
for me,
Yeah,
yep.
so he is just going to try and hit you, Fleece, okay?
He didn't get
he
hit
also-
by Fleece, so...
He didn't get hit, yes, so he also has to go for you. He won't provoke an attack of opportunity because he's going to go here. That is possibly a critical
Does
against
that not
you,
provoke
Galaric.
an attack of opportunity? He's moving through a threat range?
He
Does that
hasn't
not?
left your threat range, or indeed anyone else's, so no, he does not.
Actually, he does, because he's moving in my threat, which is difficult terrain. So he can't take a 5-foot step, it's a 10-foot step.
He provokes an attack of opportunity off you then, Fleece. But he is also rolled possibly a critical, so I will be keeping that roll.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do a 4-point power attack. 15.
Is, I'm afraid,
But-
a miss.
Did you add for flanking?
16, 17.
Is a hit.
Well done. I was gonna say it because I didn't realise until after. Plus 8. 33 points of damage to the back of his head.
This thing answers the Galaric's call, and it runs and it jumps into the air, both hands on its spear like that, ready to do a potential critical. How do you kill him in one fleece as he's flying through the air?
I mean, literally, as he's flying through the air, I swat him out of the air like a
BAM!
He gets hit by my axe and then has to continue with the axe into the floor.
Scrunch. Okay. Oh my god. Absolute chaos. That was an attack of opportunity. That was that one attacking Galaric. This one, the one that was blind, also went. Galaric, it's now your turn.
Excellent. I'm going to... I mean, he's technically... I'm guessing I take up these squares, so I'm guessing they're the square below.
Yeah, you're the force. Oh yeah, sorry, I pushed them into yours. Yeah, the square below. Yeah.
So then, that one there then.
Yeah.
I shall... Seeing as he's on the floor like, ooh, and this one's...
blind,
this-
yeah.
I shall go for a full attack on this one. But I'll also make a power attack. I'll take 3 off my attack roll.
Okay.
So attack 1. Possibly a critical. 15.
Not a critical, unfortunately.
But just a hit.
Just a hit. He hasn't got any effects on him, has he? No, he's just normal. So he's, just a hit, I'm afraid.
And 15 on the secondary, that's alright. So plus, so that's that. Oh, Maximilian damage, 22.
Oh, it's savage, and you cut deep into him, but he yet lingers.
Oh. Seeing this, I'll give Ergeist just a knock with the knees to see if he will listen and join in.
Oh, yes, of
He
course.
will. So, Ergeist will go in for 2 hooves.
2 hooves. 2 hooves.
Miss.
Miss.
A hit.
Hit.
And a chomp with his gnarly teeth. Oh!
Also a hit.
Excellent. Doing a combined of 15 points of damage.
Right, okay. That's just normal. No, I love that. That's incredible. Galaric, what is it like as Galaric and Ergeist as a completely in unison battling force just tear this creature apart?
Galaric kind of spears him down and tries to go for a second spear with his full attack. And as he's kind of pulling his glaive out, as he misses with the other one to hold him down, Ergeist just uses his hoof to slam him back onto the floor, and then with his bite just rips off his throat. Just,
Oh god!
and then has a cannibalistic just...
The bloody mount is sated, if but for a short moment. Very good. Great turn for Galaric.
Eat up.
That one is now dead, so can no longer take its turn. This one is just going to try and strike at you, Galaric. Armor class is
22.
Is a miss. That one is still fascinated. Blease, it is your turn.
Oh, lovely stuff. I'll take a 5-foot step to there, so I am now flanking this guy. And we'll try for a touch attack.
He's on the floor, though.
Is he on the floor? Oh, he's the one that's prone.
Yes, he's still stunned and prone for a further 3 rounds.
My work is already done.
Careful.
Himself. I will rip my headphones off, though. Sorry, that's my...
I do that all the time with excitement. So.
My blanket. Right, in that case, he's got -4 to his armor class. I've got +2 to my attack from flanking. I will take 4 off. and strike him upon the ground with a 4-point power attack. That is a natural 20 on my 4-point power attack.
Confirm it.
I will try. That is a 23.
That is a confirmed critical hit. Roll a d100 before you do your damage.
91.
Okay, that is abdominal injuries.
Abdominal.
2d4 constitution damage. So you can add the 2d4 constitution damage into your critical damage, please.
So 2d4 con damage, that's 7 points of con damage.
Oh!
I mean, I'll write it down, but as a
And
formality, I will write it down.
my critical, which I've not done a critical with the
No.
with Blogar, have I? So, does power attack critical?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, rule of thumb, if it's a dice after the main attack, that doesn't, but anything else does
Yeah.
multiply.
Let me just... Sorry, it's taking a minute to get to the number, because I'm scrolling. There we go.
Scrolling.
88. 88 points of damage, because the axe is times 3 when it crits.
Oh my god.
Beautiful. Lovely.
What is it like as you erase this creature from existence?
I think he, at this point, because it's on the floor, he wants to send a message to his friends. So he uses the icicled, spiked side of the axe, and he embeds it so hard that it actually takes a little bit of force to pull it back out of the ground afterwards, because it just goes through his head and turns it into ketchup.
Oh, I love it so much. And is there anything else you can do on your turn, or is that it?
No, I took a 5-foot step, and yeah, that's it.
We are back to the top of the round, and suddenly emerging from the depths, you can see the terrible figure.
Oh shit!
5, 10.
Oh shit, guys! He's right next to me, guys.
Yeah, easy.
Oh no, guys!
Oh, we can
I
just
don't
go
wanna
there.
die.
So just rushes forward, and because it did that, it's going to first of all bring up its terrifying spear that it wields in 2 hands. Armor class, please.
17.
That is a hit with the spear. Where is it? It's there, okay. Did it move more? No, that's fine, I already said it. So, the spear is a pretty nasty mother. It's going to do... If you get the right dice, that would be great. There we go. $18 points of piercing damage as it just emerges from the water and just BAM! 2 hands drive down this spear into your side as you're distracted doing this insane strike. It comes out opportunistically and stabs you, but as it draws icy blue blood from it, your veins, Fleece, pop. From invisibility, you see the bolt from the blue that struck you, this terrible creature. What do you do?
Well, what should I do? That's the question. It has appeared again, so I suppose I should try and hurt it. I will move to here, and I'll cast Whelming Blast, which is a will save of 19.
It is just shy of success. That is a failure.
Fantastic. Then it takes 3d6 non-lethal damage. 15 points of damage.
Yow. Non-lethal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not invisible anymore, and I think the fascinated creature would have another round of.
Yep, that sounds like correct. Yep, absolutely.
One more round, and the blinded one is no longer blind.
He's not blind anymore.
No, it was only for a round, that one.
Okay, what did I do? There he is. There we are. So the symbol's off. Suddenly he can see all of the people that you've killed around him. Is that your turn, Pop?
It is indeed.
He's dead. He's dead. In fact, it's only that one of that group that remains. No longer blinded. No, his master's there. He's not going to run. He's just going to try and strike at Galaric because you're right next to him, and I think out of just pure self-defense.
Fair enough. 22.
A miss. It swings hard, but it misses you entirely. I'm aware of the time, so Galaric, if you'd like to continue as it's your turn.
Sure. Seeing this creature appear, and also in the corner of my eye, I can see Pops appeared, but I can also see that Fleece is here. So I will take a 5-foot hoof this way, which does put him in my threat range, which is nice. But I will go for the one I attacked very first, who then got blinded.
Yeah.
Seeing as he's clocked me and he went for an attack, I'll go for another 3-point power attack on him as well.
Okay.
20.
Is a hit.
And miss. That's okay, 1 hit. For Maximilian damage again.
Oh my god, and again, it is just shy.
Is that even with the damage I did in the very first round?
Oh no, sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Oh my god, you're absolutely right. I do apologise. Yes, that is more than enough. What is it like as you obliterate him?
Seeing as he kind of clocked and then looked at me and he went for an attack, I locked eyes with him for a moment, and as I just kind of knocked away downwards, I guess, knocked back his attack, and then as I did, I just shoved the glaive through his neck, and I just look at him like.
Very good. That is Galaric's turn. That one's dead. This one is still here. Is just going to try and attack you, Galaric.
That's fine.
And that is a miss. And that would be the last round of fascination for that one at the end there. And we now move on to Fleece's turn. Fleece, it is your turn, and you are surrounded by the ruined remains of many of these creatures, but the largest still looms over you. What do you do?
Well, as the largest still looms over me, take a 5-foot step. I will drop into a righteous rage.
Righteous man.
And I will attempt to hit him.
Very good.
I'm testing the waters of his armor class. I'm not going to do power attacks or anything. We're just going to go for a nice A nice healthy wallop. That is a 32.
That is a hit on his armor class. Assuredly.
Suck eyes, biatch. That is 29 points of damage.
It gives a wretched hiss as you strike at him. Ouch. And it sort of like arcs backwards from the strike. Is there anything else you can do on your turn?
Nope. That is me.
We are back to the top of the round. And the creature, seeing that its minions have been bested, is going to provoke an attack of opportunity. He's going to try and hit you first, actually, Felice. So let's just deal with that first, actually. He is going to provoke an attack of opportunity off you, though, so do prepare for that. Oh my god.
Is 15 now.
Possibly a fumble.
Oh, that was not what I was expecting.
Oh, me neither.
Just a miss. So he swings and you miss and then take your attack of opportunity. Sorry, he misses and then you take your attack of opportunity, please, as he goes to do something else.
Oh, do I get one as well?
If you're in range, yeah.
I just.
Ooh, not a 2. 17.
And
Miss.
27.
A hit.
Oh dear.
4. 15 points of damage.
It is horrible, and you cut across the thing, and it gives a horrible, raking cry as it then uses its movement to fall into the water and vanishes from sight. Pop, it is your turn.
Not knowing what it's going to do, I'm going to. Can I ready firing my wand of magic missile at it if it is its head?
Yes, you absolutely can. So you ready your action then, Pop. And then we move through the rest of the initiative. All of them lie dead around you, so we move immediately to Galaric. There is one remaining there, and then there's one that's about to come out of Fascination on its turn. What do you do?
Well, myself and guys will attempt to dispatch this one here. So, 3-point power attack has been working so far. I will try to maintain that for a first hit. Oh, no. Second, yes.
Okay, sorry. So that's a miss on the first, hit with the second. Yep.
21 points of damage.
What is it like as you kill him?
Oh!
Crunch.
Spinning around. It's more as we spin around, I then swing the glaive up and it kind of sparks slightly as it comes off the cobbles of the floor. And then just cuts right up and through him. Them.
Yep, and it collapses to the ground, entrails everywhere.
That's it. That was a full attack.
We now move to this one, which is no longer fascinated, and this one is definitely going to vanish into the water. When it's turn. Bye. No, thank you. It just immediately vanishes into the water. You see a few bubbles, bloop, 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 and then it vanishes into the water. That was its turn. Fleece, it's your turn.
Oh dear. Wimp! You run away! You are dishonourable! I can't do anything.
Well, like
there's no one
You
here
could
to,
ready your
like,
glot.
I will take a cure moderate wounds.
Yep. So that's your movement.
Let's attempt to be wise here, shall we? Because I don't tend to do healing very often. It always comes back to bite me in the ass. That is my movement. And then can I go into is it partial defense?
Yep.
And that I can't remember what that does. That adds
+2, I believe, to your armor class.
So it puts my armor class back up to non-rage. Doesn't do much, but
it's if you can do that whilst you're raging. I don't know if you can do that whilst you're raging. I'm not sure.
I think you can. The things you can't do while you're raging are things that require certain levels of skill. So you can't do skills.
Okay, that's
dexterity-based skills and stuff. But defensively, you can. Rage improves your combat. So
okay, so that means that your armor class is.
It'll be back to 17.
Okay, the thing just bursts back out of the water, activating your readied action, Belize, as he rises.
I didn't ready an action.
Sorry,
I'm
not
just in defense.
Belize. Sorry, Pop.
Okay. 2 magical missiles fire out of Pop's wand and blast him in the chest for 8.
Pew pew.
Pew pew indeed.
What is it like, Pop, as you blast his face off?
Really?
Literally comes back out of the water. It's a total fake out. He bursts back out. Rah! Spear upraised. How'd you kill him?
Yeah, I think Pop is used to that sort of deception of sneaking backwards and forwards, or trying to make out that you're doing something. So he sort of read the situation. He's he's gonna come back out any second. And he's just completely ignoring everything else and just ready. And just as he pops out of the water, it's and 2 magical blasts just catch him in the chest, put holes in him.
It falls sort of sideways onto the side of the bridge for a bit, and then slides back, and then falls backwards, splosh into the water. Congratulations, you have defeated the Sorhagin.
Ah, right, okay.
Nice.
I know very little. I've come across them before, but they are a bit of a mystery. Very cool.
And as the battle is done, our vision rises to see our heroes victorious in this conflict, but now on the edge of a much greater one, as we see the looming fortification, and upon the top of the tower, a very powerful and very angry, hungry dragon. And that is where we will leave it for this session. So, as usual, we will quickly jump to the title page, and I will ask the immortal question. Thoughts on the session, please? And we will start with Dom. What are your thoughts on the session?
Yeah, I enjoyed a slightly less frantic sort of going from battle to changing battle. I did enjoy the fight at the end, of course, but I also enjoyed interacting with the 3 I don't know, sort of counter adventurers, sort of what you could have been, almost, if it's sort of if you denied the call to action of adventure. I guess I enjoyed that a lot, and discovering there's a door within the castle, magical door, which I am intrigued about and will want to find out more if I can at some point.
Very good, Dom. And Mike, thoughts at the end of the session?
Likewise, yeah, it was a nice. I suppose to kind of get to where we are, to see how everything sort of developed, and the state as well of South Point. And yes, nice combat as well. It was nice to kind of see some of that control in the first couple of rounds, and just
Devastating.
kind of focusing them all in. And yes, I mean, I'm concerned if there's a dragon, but I am intrigued.
Yes, very much so. And finally, Matt, thoughts at the end of the session?
I should probably unmute. I found the Fleece is a very different character for me. And he doesn't quite know the right questions to ask. So he was a little bit like, just point me in a direction, because he didn't quite know what the next sort of step was. So sort of struggling to get to sort of where we were heading next. But I think he definitely had an idea of it. It just wasn't quite clicking for him. But I definitely like the characters. Absolutely, I always. It is a thing that you've done in the past, actually, sort of adventuring NPCs that aren't us, and I really enjoy it. It is always fun to come up with those, because they're always colourful. And the thing is, we're in a world where that's going to happen. You know, you come across other people that are sort of adventurers, however successful, and very enjoyable. And the fight was, lots of fun. I always enjoy a good scrap, a nice straightforward scrap. Just glad we didn't have to go into the water.
Mm.
And
I
don't want to fight a dragon. Let's avoid that. Not at level 5. We'll die. We'll definitely.
This is an interesting thing. It was important that you know that there was a dragon. Not trying to pull a fast one. I'm letting you know out the gate that is what is in front of you. And I wanted this session sort of to be the expositional setup for that, so you know where Delver is and what is standing in your way. And that is going to be the whole of the next session. It's just you trying to deal with that problem, which I'm really looking forward to. And I hope you watching are looking forward to it too. If you like this video, then give us a like, and if you'd like to see more like it, then give us a subscribe. And of course, let us end as what we always say at the end of Roll the Bones, and that is bone them rolls.
Bone 'em, and don't tell your mum.
And of course, don't tell your mum.
Never.
I just realised we've been off the image like the whole time, but never mind. That's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The sound's still there. The sound is still there.